Hi everybody, well the weather is extraordinary here, so I'm bringing my studio outside. And just a quick reminder, if you still have lots of birds from the finch family, you know, redpolls and pine siskins and the various finches, please keep an eye on them. And if you don't see any sick birds, please still continue to wash your feeders and your bird baths every 2 to 3 weeks. As you might know, I didn't grow up in North America, so when I moved here and started gardening, I had to learn from scratch. And in search of information, I came across this wonderful book by Dr. Douglas Tellamy called Bringing Nature Home. After I read it, I changed my gardening approach completely. It's all about native plants for me. Actually, these white pines, we have 6 of them on our property, were planted because of this book. And you know, when I go shopping for plants and flowers every year, my husband knows that I'll be gone for hours because I'm still learning and I don't know all the plants and the shrubs and the trees. So I look at all the labels and then with my phone, I check out the names and I read all about it to make sure that they are native to our area. There were times when I came home with just 2 flowers because that's all I could find in our local garden centers. Anyway, this is all just a forward to tell you that Audubon declared April as a National Native Plant Month. They've been trying to get this recognized for years, but now with the official bipartisan Senate resolution that was passed on March 25th, April is all about native plants. You see, native plants are absolutely fabulous. They are easy to maintain, they're not as finicky, they don't require as much water, and they attract all the bugs that birds like to eat, especially when they're feeding their young. So if you're trying to do a little bit of landscaping or looking for new flowers for your gardens, please do a little bit of homework and try finding native plants to your area.
Hi Hilary. My thoughts on your avian absentees are this. It is indeed possible that the birds were avoiding your feeders because of that strong peppermint oil smell. I seem to recall years ago someone in Montreal telling me that pigeons don't like the smell of peppermint oil, and they were going to put out little dishes of the oil on their balcony to dissuade pigeons. Unfortunately, we lost contact and I was never able to find out if it worked. Many folks seem to think that birds don't have much in the way of olfactory powers, relying instead on their senses of vision, hearing, and touch. It's not true. Birds have very well-developed olfactory lobes in their brains, and thus a very decent sense of smell. And some species have taken olfaction to a much higher level. For example, turkey vultures, kiwis, and certain seabirds. As for your problem in the contamination of your seed, the seed storage container, and your feeders, I don't know whether baking soda would be effective in getting rid of the powerful peppermint odor. In the end, my guess is you probably figured this out and ended up resorting to throwing out the smelly seed, cleaning the seed container and your feeders with hot water and soap, followed by a 10% bleach solution, rinsing and drying. On the other hand, perhaps your birds had simply abandoned your feeders temporarily for some other reason, like the sudden appearance of a hawk, or availability of natural foods, or onset of unfavorable weather conditions, and nothing to do with the smell of peppermint oil. Hopefully, one way or the other, they've returned to your restaurant and all is well again. You know, Hollywood and the sports world aren't the only sources of superstars. The bird world has them too. And these days, there are 2 real superstars out there in the world of feathered organisms, both of them living in the very southern edge of our planet and famous for 2 very different reasons. The most notable and deserving one is a Laysan Albatross called Wisdom. Not only did she just turn 70, she also hatched another chick, on February 1st to be exact. Now known as the oldest wild bird in history, she's outlived not only her previous mates, but also Chandler Robbins, the biologist who first placed a metal ID band on her leg in 1956. Her current mate has been with her since 2010. While albatrosses are known to have the longest pair bonds in the bird world, they will take on a new mate if one has perished. Considering that albatrosses only lay eggs every 2nd year and have to contend with dying on a fish hook on a commercial longline, or more recently with climate warming affecting their food sources, living to 70 and still producing babies is a remarkable achievement. The other superstar out there is a king penguin, which is famous only for its color. Instead of sporting the usual black, white, and yellow plumage, this spectacular bird is all white with plenty of bright yellow showing. While some might chalk the overall pale color to albinism, the more logical explanation is what we call leucism, meaning that the bird does not produce as much in the way of the dark-like melanin pigments. It just so happens that they also have a pigment known only to them called sphenocin, which could account for the abundance of yellow. However, the source of color is still up for debate. Meanwhile, photos of this very rare bird have been going viral.
In the past few years, we traveled to Malta on several occasions, even though those visits were not very happy, because Malta's treatment of birds is quite strange and often very cruel. BirdLife International has actually been targeting the Maltese governments with the help of the European Commission to stop them from killing turtle doves and most recently the illegal finch trapping. In 2018, the European Commission informed the Maltese government with a rather clear verdict that finch trapping is inhumane and illegal. Well, the government turned around and reworded their laws to redefine finch trapping is capturing them for scientific research. Since then, BirdLife International has dispatched several teams of scientists to go and see what's happening exactly. And guess what? They found that all the trapped finches were not being used for any kind of scientific research. So now BirdLife Malta and the European Commission are working together again to find ways to stop all the illegal finch trapping. And another success story from US Fish and Wildlife. This one actually surprised a few researchers. The bald eagle, which was on the verge of extinction because of secondary poisoning, hunting and habitat loss, was officially removed off the endangered species list in 2007, and its numbers have been growing steadily. But recent data shows that their numbers have actually quadrupled in the past few years. That was a bit of a surprise to a lot of research because so many other bird species are declining. And one of the theories is that US Fish and Wildlife has been using eBird, and they're getting more accurate, or actually more information about birds than the counting system that they had in place before. So you see, eBird is a very useful tool. So if you can, please install it on your mobile devices, and when you're out and about and you see birds, just enter them with eBird. You never know who might be looking into your sightings and using them for research. Crows, jays and magpies, beautiful, intelligent birds. I personally love looking at jays that we don't have in our area, and I also miss seeing magpies, which were so common where I grew up. Now, let's check out the top 5. Here's the 3rd place, the 2nd place, and the grand prize winner. Congratulations, everybody. May is all about migratory birds. Good luck, everyone. All right, everybody, time to say goodbye. Have fun shopping for native plants. Give your bird baths and your bird feeders a good scrub. Enjoy the weather and enjoy all the migratory birds. Take care. I'll see you in 2 weeks.